Jesus hates the concealing hypocrisy that says, no, we'll be this way. Literally, people roll up. I have no doubt that it happens here. People roll up, not in the parking lot here, but on the street, because that's our parking lot. They roll up to park, and they're angry with each other, then walk in, and you just pretend everything. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not talking about it never happening. I'm talking about living a life where that is the common occurrence with no effort to adjust it, and you use this to pretend as though everything's fine, and then you keep living your life the same way, producing the same fruit. Jesus says, everything you've said in secret is going to be declared from the mountaintops. What you've tried to hide is going to be visible to everyone. That's the first ditch. No one's going to know. Here's the second ditch. Well, I don't want to be a hypocrite, so then this is what happens. I'm just not going to try. Rather than being a hypocrite, I'd rather just not even put forth the effort. Well, that exposes the reality that you misunderstand what hypocrisy is. Hypocrisy is of things that should not belong there. Hypocrisy is pretending to be something you know you are. Hypocrisy is pretending to be something you know you are not. You are not. Or pretending to not be something that you know you are. In fact, pretending to not be something that you know you are. In fact, God tells us that we ought to strive to follow Jesus Christ. Preach that. I would say, well, man, there's no way. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. The leaven is something that moms and dads, a little bit of hypocrisy will expand in significant ways in the lives of your children. A little bit of attitude, a little bit of resentment, a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of immorality, a little bit of language will grow in the hearts and lives of your children. That's what he's warning them about. And what happens in individual families can happen in individual families can happen in a church family as well. And it's connected because he says in verse number 4 at the beginning, and I say unto you. Because he says in verse number 4 at the beginning, and I say unto you. There's a connection here. And I say unto you. I'm not going to read it all again. Let me just summarize. He says, here's what, listen. You don't need to be afraid of people that can kill your body. Okay, wait a minute. We say amen to that, but we're not really thinking about it. I only have one. Not that impressive, but it's mine. It's the only one through which I get to live. I mean, you got a Chihuahua and a Great Dane, and you're like, man, that Great Dane's way more impressive. But it's not the Chihuahua's fault. I mean, that's what he is. And he's got to do the best with it that he can. And I kind of understand why Chihuahuas are the way that they are. They got a lot more to overcome. No, I only have one body. But Jesus is literally saying, don't be afraid of people who can kill the body. No, look, people have become masters at doing really bad things to each other. Look, I'm just telling you, I don't recommend it. But you open up any kind of news feed, and there is no shortage of bad news every single day. People's lives are being shattered and broken and harmed. And this is what you find. People are getting increasingly more angry, more violent, more hopeless. And we in this country, and we got to remember, there's a whole other world outside of the borders of the United States where it's going on too. We are destroying people who can take your life. Well, then who should I be afraid of? I shouldn't be afraid of the mob. I shouldn't be afraid of the man that's stronger than me. I shouldn't be afraid of the person who can order my execution. Who then, God, should I be afraid of? You need to fear him that after he's taken your physical life can condemn you to hell for eternity. Okay, help number one for hypocrisy is this. God is going to judge everyone. I don't really feel like hell fits into the religious narrative of the day. Well, it's not God's job to fit his truth into what is culturally acceptable. Hell still is, regardless of the appetite we have or don't have for it, hell still is a place that Jesus referenced. And if he referenced it, it is a real possibility. It is a real place. And it's his mercy to reference it because he doesn't want people to go there. But this is what he's reminding people. Listen up. There is a God who will judge everyone. You want to be afraid of somebody? Okay, I'm reminded of what Proverbs says. They're up by worrying about what somebody else thought. And we've all spent in one way or another too little time comparatively worrying about what God thought. Spend too much time trying not to get caught by fellow men and on privately. What are you saying? God will judge every one of us. You're like, that's not super fun. Nope. But hearing it now is going to be way better than hearing it then. And you actually believe what Jesus said about judgment, it's going to motivate you. Look, I'm not saying it's the best motivation, but Jesus himself used it as a motivation. I mean, people trying to be more spiritual, they say, man, you shouldn't get saved to not go to hell. Jesus used that as a motivation. You know what? Hey, to my adult